Assalamualaikum and good day to Dr. Farah Nachiar and also to my fellow coursemate. In today's video, our group, which is group number 2, will be doing a presentation for our assignment 1 for BIP3014 Material Development and Technology Integration in ESL. So before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Syarah Fizirayan bin Zainuddin, and in this group we also have Muhammad Daim bin Ramdan, Muhammad Zikri bin Muhammad Zainal, Muhammad Aiman Izzuddin bin Amerola, Vanessa Beretti, and also Heidi Lovejoy Sem. So moving on to the next slide. The teaching skills that we go with is reading skill, and for the material, we use reading passage and a play script. So for reading passage, there are 2 problems, and for a play script, the problem is a general problem that the student usually face for a play script. Next, we will talk about the characteristic of reading skills. There are 3 characteristics, which is decoding, fluency, and cohesion. So let's start with decoding. So decoding is to pronounce words that they have encountered before but never seen written out, as well as having an awareness of phonemic. So decoding is a vital step in the reading process to sound out words that they have heard before but haven't seen written out. Decoding relies on early language skill known as phonemic awareness. So moving on to the next one, which is fluency. So fluency is word recognition, is the potential of recognizing the whole words and being able to pronounce them correctly. Fluency speeds up the rate of reading as well as understanding the context that is being read. To read fluently, one needs to instantly recognize words. Recognition is the ability to recognize whole words instantly by sight and able to pronounce them. Fluency is also sped up the rate at which they can read and understand text. For the third one, which is cohesion, cohesion is to connect idea within and between sentences, knowing how the ideas are relating to every level of sentences. Hence, students may be able to understand the whole context. In other words, cohesion is to connect idea within and between sentences, understanding how ideas link up at every level of sentences. One will get the meaning from the entire text. It also connects idea to another idea in an overall piece of writing. This is the reading passage that we have found in the internet, and in this reading passage we have found 2 problems. The first problem that I have found from the reading passage earlier is that the material is not appealing and interesting. Why? As we can see, the topic did not interest students, and the topic is also unfamiliar for the students. I also think that the topic is not interesting too to myself. When student is not familiar with the topic, they will lose interest and it will be hard for the student to comprehend the text. Hence, they will lose interest in reading the text. Apart from that, students will not get the point of the text too. Even though the words and sentences may make sense, they may not be able to put them together and to get the meaning of the passage, as they are reading something that is unfamiliar and not interesting. Next, they will forget what they have read too. Just because they don't have to memorize all of the fact does not mean that they can completely forget everything that they have read. They still need to recall the main idea of the passage. But reading a text that is not appealing and interesting will make it hard for them to get the main point and understand the whole text. So some improvement can be done for reading passages where students will find it interesting and appealing, and for that my friend Aiman will continue with the improvement of it.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Doctor and my fellow classmates. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Aiman Izzuddin bin Amirullah. So, based on what Ryan has said about the problem before, which is the material is not appealing and interesting, the ways to improve this problem is the material should achieve impact according to Tomlinson principle. For the explanation, the material should have appealing content. For example, the reading passage should use topic of interest to the target learner and an engaging topic. For this point, if we look back at the passage, we can see that the topic are obviously not interesting for students to read. The teacher should use other topic like about gadget or sport that students are more familiar with, and it could make the student more engaging in the activity due to their curiosity about the topic. Next, the teacher should also use universal theme so that it could be related for a wider range of students rather than for just a specific student. Lastly, the teacher should also use local reference. For example, like the teacher need to take point what type of background are his student in. So it is very important for the teacher to take account on the right topic for his or her lesson. So I want to focus on that appealing content definitely will attract their attention.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Zikri bin Muhammad Zainal and I will be continuing the presentation for point number 2. So I'm using the same material as the previous slide or same as the point number 1, which is the reading passage. Okay, the problem that we have discovered in this reading passage is the text or the passage is too lengthy for students to read. So what is the problem with lengthy reading passage? Lengthy reading materials tend to make students to lose their focus in reading the text. So when they lose their focus, they can easily lose track on what they have read at any point and lose track on what line they are currently reading when they are moving from one line to the next line since it is too long. And this will result in wasting time and also can inhibit their comprehension of the text. Lengthy reading passage also will shows unstructured information, which is very hard for students to interpret the text, and it also hard for them to understand it. It may seem possible for the advanced learner to understand this text, but it is hard for the beginner and intermediate learner. So, reading the lengthy text also will make it hard for them to recall and remember on what they have read or the main point of the passage. This happens because they will easily distracted while reading the passage, and because of what I have just said earlier, which they are unable to focus on reading. And another thing that I have found in this reading material is it also did not have any visual or lack visual, such as image or something colorful that could attract the students, and this will make them to lose their interest, and this definitely will affect their comprehensions. Another problem is the format that are used in the reading passage is not suitable for students to read. As you can see from the material, the spacing or the gap between the two lines and the size of the word is too small, and it is not pleasant to the eyes. Students will have difficulties reading the passage, and it will also be harder for them to acquire the information that they needed in order to understand the content of the passage.
Hi, I'm Daim. So I will proceed with the way to improve number 2. Material should help learners feel at ease based on the Tomlinson principles. When it comes to way to improve the second problem, which is the reading material is too lengthy, is by using material that should have learner feel at ease. Based on the Tomlinson principles, a teacher should consider the student's resilience in reading a long full text passage. Technically, students often feel bored towards a full page of words. As you can see, a workaholic economic passage is way too lengthy. This leads to losing focus on what is being read. Therefore, they could not make out the meaning of the whole context. Providing a visual into the text may aid the students to feel at ease as well as understand the given context. At the same time, with visual aids, students' interest to read the passage provided will gradually increase. I'm pretty sure with adding some visual aids to the passage will be much better to understand by a student. So, the basic principle that we choose is cognitive skill that allow the brain to take in and process information by undergoing several processes which are decoding, fluency, and comprehension with the help of visualization. If the reading material is not provided with any kind of visual or term used in the text is unrecognizable by the readers, the visualization will not happen. Visualization refers to the ability to create a mental picture of what is being read. To achieve this, the teacher should provide a reading passage with visual aids. It is important to stimulate the reader's illustration through pictures as well as to ensure the reader can engage with the passage. This is why are we choosing this principle in the way to improve the reading materials.
Generally, the problems that tend to happen during reading a play script among the students are: number 1, reading fluency. The lack of comprehension of the meaning of the scripts may cause the students to read without a proper intonation and dull expression. And also, a continuous reading without a sign of full stop will happen. This is also caused by lacking phonemic awareness. Number 2, word reading accuracy. Let's focus on a group of students, for example, an intermediate student. They may have less recognition of words or vocabularies. They are not only doesn't recognize the meaning of the word, but also on how to pronounce the word. Therefore, this could lead to false pronunciation. And number 3, the reading comprehension. Again, an intermediate students are not able to understand and interpret of what is being read. They could not decode what they should be react and make a correlation between what they are reading to their existing knowledge. Based on the last principle of Tomlinson, a good script play extended reading material supposedly provides chances for outcome feedback. When it comes to implementing reading skills, a teacher should consider the effectiveness in improving the students' reading fluency, the understanding of what they read, and to ensure that the readers are able to make connection between what they have read and to their existing knowledge, rather than just focusing on the accuracy of the output or on how to read. By providing a short visual, such as video, pictures in flashcard form, including a synopsis, would definitely aid with the students' understanding and interpretation of what is being read before attempting to perform the play. When the readers are fully engaged with the script, their reading intonation and expression will be improved.
Based on the basic principles of second language acquisition, one of the ways to improve reading skills by using script play is to raise the student's motivation through intrinsic motivation. To perform the play script, the student should possess interest for its inherent satisfaction. When they are intrinsically motivated, They will be motivated to learn, interpret, and read the script with accurate reading skills, which is the intonation, pronunciation, and expression. Because of their passion to develop better reading skills and the learning outcomes rather than because of external products, pressures, or even rewards, which is more leaning towards extrinsic motivation. Language learning materials are used by teachers or learners to facilitate the learning of a language. So the selected language skills that we have chosen is reading skill, and the materials typically used in teaching and learning are reading passage and scripted play. So there are a few problems that we have identified, which is the material is not appealing and interesting, the material is too lengthy, the format used is not suitable, and the students have problems with reading fluency, reading accuracy, and reading comprehension. So these problems make it hard for students to truly understand the whole meaning of the text. So when they are not interested to read the text, and they might feel bored if the text is too long. If they did not understand the text, then they cannot respond correctly to the question and answer the questions. Nevertheless, there are few ways to overcome these problems, which according to Tomlinson's principle, which is materials should achieve impact, materials should help learners feel at ease, provide opportunities for outcome feedback, cognitive skills, and implement the student's intrinsic motivation according to basic principle of second language acquisition. So that is all from our group. Thank you.